Right, congratulations first of all.
Thanks very much.
Obviously second term, how did this election go compared to the previous one? Was it easier, difficult or different?
Different, I think. So last time, obviously in 2016, I was still working in the private sector, so I didn't have as much time to commit to doing the canvassing and the kind of election side of things, whereas this time, because I was an MHK, I could devote most of my time then to actually getting out there and talking to people on the doorstep. So I think it was a different experience, actually, because I got around a lot more of the town, talked to a lot of people, but really that input is just so important.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm here to work for them. You can't do that if you don't really know what the issues are, if you don't have that conversations with people.
Yeah.
I have a list of things as long as my arm that need to be brought up with the commissioners or the GP surgery and all sorts. So a lot of interesting conversations, a lot of useful bits of information coming out of that, and also lots of work to do.
Yeah. So touching on the work to be done, obviously you did a lot of stuff with legislation in the past 5 years, and I think that's something that maybe goes not seen because it's not really the glamorous part of the job. So obviously more of the same, but I mean, is there more things that you want to do now that's more out there maybe? I don't know.
I'm not sure, if I'm honest. So I set out quite a lot of aims in the manifesto that I sent out, and I think that's got to be the core of what I try and achieve, because ultimately that's what I've told people I'd like to do. And quite honestly, I think that covers a very broad range of areas anyway. Some of it will be legislative, some of it's policy change, some of it is just lighting a fire under various government departments or local authorities. It's a wide range of things.
Final question then. I was told, you can correct me if this is wrong, that every Liberal Vannon Party leader that has ran and been elected has then put themselves forward for Chief Minister.
That might be true, I don't know. I know Kate did, and I think Peter did as well.
Are you going to throw your hat in the ring?
No. It would be, I've seen the results coming out from the rest of the island, and unfortunately my other candidates haven't done so well. So I think if we'd have gone in with 4 candidates, it would be a different conversation perhaps, but no, I think from my perspective it's definitely just going to select how I do, and whether that's as a minister, as a backbencher, as a scrutiny committee, whatever it is. I think you can achieve a lot in various roles, I think, in politics, so it's just about getting the job done for me.
Absolutely. Right, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Get to sleep.
Yes.
First of all, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Obviously, your second term now. How did this first election compare to your how did this election compare to your first election?
Completely different. 5 years ago when I stood, I was still a practicing GP, hadn't really got anything to lose. So it was very interesting, but again, I don't think anyone knows what they're letting themselves in for to be elected as MHK. The last 5 years have been a really steep learning curve. We've had loads of challenges. I've been taking on various roles in terms of government, most recently Minister for Education, Sport and Culture. So standing again this time, I've got a huge amount to lose. I've also over those 5 years, solved some problems, found a whole load of other problems that I didn't even know existed before. And so really was keen, again, to stand again, try to finish off some of the work I started, but also drive forward that agenda for change, because the next 5 years are going to be crucial for our people and our island.
You say it's going to be crucial, and I completely agree with you. And obviously Ramsey is a massive part of it because that's where you're running. I suppose if you're at the higher end of Minister of Education and stuff like that, and I suppose you'll probably be up there again, how do you maintain putting Ramsey out there first?
It's getting that balance, because so much of what we do in Ramsey is dictated by national politics, and that was one of the things standing as Commissioner for 8 years I became aware of, which is why I stood as MHK. So we need to make sure national policies don't overlook Ramsey, that Ramsey is part of any of the national strategies, such as the harbour strategy. But more than that, it's just making sure that Ramsey gets the infrastructure investment that it deserves. We are very much a powerhouse in terms of the potential here, in terms of people, but also industries. So it's just trying to make sure that that's at the forefront, which is why having 2 MHKs who work together and work with the local commissioners is so important to actually drive the economy of Ramsey and of the North forward.
So final question from me. I was going to ask the bog standard Chief Minister question, but do you know if you put a good word in for the Traff being open still, we could go for a pint, and maybe then I'll ask that question, have a few drinks, and then maybe answer it?
We phoned them up earlier because it was going to be my round. I think the Traff is shut now because it's way past midnight.
It's gone a bit on,
But any time you want a pint, more than happy to sit down and talk politics with you.
Yeah, and maybe you then tell me that you're going to run for Chief Minister.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe. We'll see what happens. Well, thank you very much and congratulations again.
Thanks very much. We phoned them up earlier because it was going to be my round. I think the track is shut now because it's way past midnight.
It's gone a bit on, yeah.
But any time you want a pint, more than happy to sit down and talk politics with you.
Yeah, and maybe you then tell me that you're going to run for Chief Minister.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe.